Hi, this is Jason Schneiderman for the BMCC Writing Center, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do research in the libraries using the online databases. So the first thing we want to do is go to the BMCC homepage, first thing that comes up in Google. And you can see there are a lot of really great, useful links up here in the right-hand corner to email, Panther, e-learning, BMCC portal. We're going to go to the library. And if at any point you get stuck, you can always just click on the library homepage and you can chat with a librarian. You can just click on there, put in your name, your email address, confirm your email address, pick your college, write your question, and connect, and you'll actually be in a chat with a librarian, and this is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So this is a really useful service if you ever get stuck. So we're going to go to the articles:databases section. And if you're on campus, you have access to everything right away. And you can see there are lots and lots of different databases. If you're off campus, you're going to need to log in. And you just click where it says login here. And your username is going to be your email without the @stu.bmcc.cuny.edu. And your password is whatever you've changed your password to for your email, or if you've never used your email, it's going to be your date of birth as 2 digits of year, 2 digits of month, 2 digits of date, and the last 4 digits of your social security number. And then you'll have to go to the BMCC portal. Remember, we saw that on the BMCC homepage, and change your default password there. Okay, so we're going to go into the databases, and we're going to start with Academic Search Complete. This is by EBSCO. EBSCO is a company, and they host lots of different databases. And these databases just give you access to different kinds of research articles and different kinds of materials. So we're going to choose databases. We're doing a business class today, so we're going to take off the Academic Search Complete, and you can hover over, and you can see all about the different databases, and you can think about which ones you might use for different kinds of research. But we're going to use the Business Source Complete as our starting point. So we're going to click OK. Now, I've decided I'm going to do a little bit of research on social media and advertising, Facebook and ads, or MySpace and ads. So we've chosen our database. I'm going to go to Advanced Search, and I'm going to put in my search terms. So social media and advertising. And you use these ands. This means you'll find all three of those things. If you used or, then you would get anything with any one of these three words. Now we're going to go down to limit your results. And I'm going to click on full text because that means it's only going to give me articles that it actually has the entire article, that I can actually read the whole thing if I want to. Sometimes databases will give you references that they don't actually have licenses for, so you know that the article exists, but you can't actually read it. And I'm going to click on scholarly peer-reviewed journals because I really only want peer-reviewed journals. This is the gold standard for academic research. This means that experts in a field are looking at the articles before they get published in the journals and saying, yes, this is worth publishing. This is new research that's really exciting and important. So really you have business professors and business professionals reviewing business articles to decide which ones are the best. I'm not going to worry about the document type or the number of pages. I'm not going to worry about the image quick view. I am going to limit the time. I don't want older research. I want newer research, particularly since social media has changed so much in the past. So I'm just going to say 2010 to 2012 because I don't want to get stuff from 2003 when YouTube was new, or 2005 when Facebook had just come out. So I'm not going to worry about the publication type because really the peer review is the important part to me. In terms of language, I am going to limit it to English. There might be something really cool in Dutch, but I don't speak Dutch, so I wouldn't be able to read it. And I'm not going to worry about the rest of these, so I'm just going to click on Search. So an important thing about research is leaving enough time. Research is very time consuming because you don't really know what you're going to find. And in fact, research should surprise you. You should discover things that you don't know. You have a question in mind or a topic in mind, and then you start looking for answers. So here's my first article, How Minority Consumers Use Targeted Advertising as Pathways to Self-Empowerment. Friends, fans, and followers to ads work on social networks. Two birds and one stone. I don't really know what that means. I'd have to look down. Subjects, advertising, gaze in advertising, display advertising, advertising effectiveness. That's kind of something I'm interested in. Masculinity in advertising. Viral advertising in social media, participation in Facebook groups and responses among college-age users, the rock in the pond, again, not really clear what it's about from the title. Viral marketing, rate of return. Can old media enhance new media? Consumer world-mindedness and attitudes towards product positioning and advertising. Interactive digital advertising. So I would leave myself a lot of time to kind of go through these, and I might also limit the searches even more, because you can see I got 164 results. But I think that what I'm really interested in on this page is friends, fans, and followers. Do ads work on social networks? Because that's really my biggest question. Do ads work on social networks? So I click on the title, and it gives me all of the information that I'm going to need for my references page. So the name of the Journal of Advertising Research, the date, March 2011, volume, issue, the pages it appeared on. I won't really need the subject terms for my references page. The abstract is really useful because the abstract actually tells me what the article is about. It's a summary. It's a quick version of the article. So the article presents research on internet advertising, which examines consumer attitudes towards advertising presented on social media by users of those media. It is posited that advertising presented on online social networks can be effective, but that a perception of excessive commercial exploitation of a social network can lead its members to abandon it. A mathematical model of consumer attitudes towards advertising on social media is created based on media use and gratification theory and tested. It was found that consumers reacted most favorably to advertising which was perceived as offering entertainment or information value. Well, that sounds really interesting. Now, I'm used to this kind of language. I see this kind of language all the time, but it's very dense. And if you're not used to it, it's going to take you a little bit more time to read it. The most important thing is that it concludes that people on Facebook or MySpace or whatever social network like advertising as long as it's entertaining or they feel like they're learning something. But if it's boring, then they might leave Facebook or they might leave Google Plus if there's too much advertising. So this looks really interesting. I can now click on PDF full text. A PDF is a portable document file, and the important thing about a PDF is that it will look the same on every single computer. No matter what computer you open a PDF on, it's going to look the same. And I can read this whole article now. Now, as you can see, this article is fairly long. It's 18 pages. There are some tables. There are some graphics. And I need to leave, I would say, at least an hour and a half to read this article completely. So when you're doing research, you really want to leave yourself a lot of time. And then there are all of these different references that the author used to write this article, and some of these might be useful later as well. It's also the way I can check his information and see where he got his information from. Okay, so now I would print this up and I would read this. Since I'm just demonstrating, I'm actually going to go back to the library homepage, and I'm just going to demonstrate one more database. So Academic Search Complete is really, it's about academics. It's about what professors are doing and talking to each other, and really about experts. But LexisNexis, and I'm going to go to the L to get there, is really about regular media. It's about newspapers, magazines, the New York Times, the Washington Post, and it kind of gives you a sense of what the popular conversation is about. So when I was looking in EBSCO, I was finding what experts say. And in LexisNexis, I'm going to see what is sort of more common to say. So I'm going to use the power search. I'm going to use the same search, social media advertising. And I'm only going to do the previous 2 years. And I'm just going to go ahead and search that. Oh, select a source. Okay. Oh, major world publications. I'm going to actually do all news in English. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on that, search. Okay, sometimes it takes a little bit of time to do. Again, everything about research is time consuming. The sooner you start it, the happier you'll be. Because if you're trying to find things out after you've already written your paper, then it's really not that useful. Really, you want to do all of your research before you start writing, and then as you start writing, realizing what you still need to find out, and then using research to give you that information. All right, what's going on here? Results list. Okay, so here we are. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time. So I'm going to look at my sources by categories, and let's say I'm just going to look at newspapers. And I want to start close to home, so I'm just going to look at the New York Times down here. And that gives me just 2 articles. When the marketing reach of social media backfires. Now, this isn't going to have an abstract, and the information that I want for my references is in some ways a little bit different, but very similar. I want the name of the journal, the New York Times, the date, March 6, 2011. I need to know what database it came out of, so I need to remember to write down LexisNexis Academic, and I need to also write down the date that I found the information in the database. So let's take a look at when the marketing reach of social media backfires. Okay. And this is going to be much shorter, right? Because this is just a newspaper article. So compared to the academic article, it's much faster. And it's going to be in simpler language, too. Social media like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube have been embraced by Madison Avenue as effective new ways to reach consumers. But what happens when behavior on social media is deemed antisocial? 2 large marketers, Aflac and the Chrysler Group, are struggling to answer that uncomfortable question in the wake of incidents that took place within days of each other. The incidents involving remarks on Twitter that were judged to be tasteless, inappropriate, and insensitive point out some inherent risks with social media. So this is going to be about bad things that happen in social media and how they affect advertising, which is pretty interesting. So this would be the beginning of my research, and basically this is the process that you're going to repeat as you do research on your topic and you find out more and more about the information. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, you can always go to the library and talk to a research librarian or come to the Writing Center and talk to a tutor. And good luck.